Hello viewers, in this video I am going to provide you with an overview of social and cultural change, its meanings and features. Let's first discuss social change. The word change denotes a difference in anything observed over some period of time. Hence, social change would mean observable differences in any social phenomena over a period of time. No society is static. It is a dynamic entity. It is an ongoing process. The social structure is subject to incessant changes. Individuals may strive for stability, yet the fact remains that society is an ever-changing phenomenon, growing, decaying, renewing, and accommodating itself to changing conditions. When change in social structure, social order, social values, certain customs and traditions, socio-cultural norms, code of conduct, way of conducting oneself in the society, standards, attitudes, customs, and traditions of the society and related factors take place, it is said that there is social change. Thus, social change is a dynamic entity which may include change in human interaction and interrelationships, or alterations in structure and functions of the society, or even a change in the system of social relationships. According to M.E. Jones, social change is a term used to describe variations in or modifications of any aspect of social processes, social patterns, social interaction, or social organization. On the basis of the above definitions and considering the views of a large number of well-known sociologists, we can identify the following essential characteristics of social change. Universality of social change. Social change is universal. Under the impact of several internal and external factors, each society experiences changes in its structures, functions, institutions, and processes. Social change is not uniform. Social change differs from society to society. Change is the law of nature. Change is the spice of life. However, it can be progressive or regressive, positive or negative, permanent or temporary, planned or unplanned, unidirectional or multidirectional, beneficial or harmful. Social change involves community change. Social change is a change involving the life of the entire community. It characterizes and influences the life of the whole community. For example, we as a universal community are facing a drastic change in our society due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Nature and speed of social change in various societies is different. In all societies, the nature and speed of social change varies. Each society has its own history and culture. The speed of change in some societies is slow, while in others it is fast and rapid. Social change is again relative to time. Social change characterizes each society. Its speed, however, always differs from time to time and is not essentially uniform. It keeps on changing from time to time. For example, the speed of social change that India faced pre and post independence is different. social change shows a chain reaction sequence. Since social change always comes under the impact of several social, economic, technological, and situational factors, it very often shows a chain reaction sequence. That is, change in one part or factor leads to changes in other parts or factors, and then a change in the way of life of the community of people takes place. Social change is governed by several interdependent and interacting factors. Social change always comes under the influence of several social, economic, cultural, and political, and even scientific factors. Even the nature, the speed, and process of social change in other societies always influence the nature and process of social change in a particular society. No one can predict social change. The process of social change is very complex and dynamic. It makes prediction making very difficult and problematic. No one can really predict the exact nature and content of social change which can come in a society. Social change is natural, cyclic, and mostly gets social acceptance and finally helps a person adapt to the changes. These 8 characteristics are the major essential natural features of social change. To sum up, we can say that social change refers to modifications or replacements in social structure, social process, social patterns, social interactions, and social organization. It is a change in the structure and process of the entire society. Now, let us look into the meaning and features of culture. Culture is a collective term for socially transmitted behavior patterns. It is the set of patterns of human activity within a society or a social group. Culture is how we act, think, and behave based on the shared values of our society. It is how we understand symbols from language to hand gestures. It is everywhere, and we continually develop and define our culture on a daily basis. Culture unites people of a society through shared beliefs, traditions, and expectations. The 2 basic types of culture are material culture and non-material culture. Material culture refers to the physical objects, resources, and spaces that people use to define their culture. These include homes, neighborhoods, cities, schools, churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, offices, factories, plants, tools, means of production, products, stores, and so on. The non-material culture refers to the non-physical ideas that people have about their culture, including beliefs, values, rules, norms, morals, language, organizations, and institutions. For instance, the non-material cultural concept of religion consists of a set of beliefs and ideas about God, worship, morals, and ethics. Cultural change includes change in ideology and administration. It can be material or non-material. Cultural change is a concept that denotes some internal and external factors leading to change in the cultural patterns of societies. It may come from many sources, but most of them come through contact with other cultures, inventions, and internal adjustment of culture. Factors of cultural change. There are three main factors of cultural change. 1. Contact. The contact between two societies will obviously change the culture of both the societies through the process of cultural diffusion and acculturation. 2. Technology evolution. Any technological evolution in the country will bring a change in their culture also. For example, changes in production technology, changes in the means of communication, changes in the means of transportation, etc. 3. The geographical and ecological factor. The geographical and ecological factor is a natural or a physical factor. For example, the climate or rainfall, altitude of the place, closeness to the sea decides the culture and lifestyle of the people. Any change in the physical features will automatically lead to a change in their culture, habits, and way of living. According to David Ressier and Donald Carnes, sometimes members of a society are often confronted by customs that differ from those which they have learned to accept. In such a situation, they adopt some of the new customs and reject others. New customs and practices are likely to be more readily adopted under two conditions. 1. If they represent what is viewed as socially desirable and useful. And 2. If they do not clash with the re-existed and still valued customs and practices. Changes in culture are always superimposed on existing culture, especially during cultural contact. All the cultural changes are not equally important. Some changes are introduced to the culture because they are considered necessary for human survival, while some other changes are not essential for survival. It is a fact of common observation that crisis tends to produce or accelerate cultural changes. Cultural change is a cumulative effect. It leads to chain reaction whenever a change is incorporated into the culture and becomes defined as a social necessity. New needs emerge, generating the desire for still further changes to complement and supplement the original change. Hope this video has helped you to understand the concepts of social change and cultural change. Thank you for watching.